Today we're going to be installing a new drive belt on this 2016 F15 X5. It's a X-Drive 35i with the N55 in it. This job should be pretty straightforward. You're just going to need a basic set of tools. You will need some torque sockets as well. And we'll go ahead and get right to it. First thing we're going to need to do is remove this fresh air pipe here. You're just going to grab it, pull straight up on it. Same thing at the front here. It's just kind of pull it towards you, maybe twist it side to side. With that removed, we're going to unclip everything that is attached to this big aluminum crossbar here. So just kind of pop everything out of their clips here. And then you're going to have 4 13mm bolts, 2 on either side, after which we can get that removed. Once those are all loose, we're actually going to lift it up on this left side to get it up on top of that frame rail, and then that'll get us enough room to gently bring it up and around this coolant hose without moving it around too much to cause a leak. Get it over the top of that, pull it to the right, and we can get that removed and out of the way. With that out of the way, we'll remove these 2 clips that hold on to these air conditioning hoses. So we'll pop all the hoses out of them first, and then we'll come back and remove them from the fan. Once you've got the hoses out, these clips will slide off to the left. You can see, if I turn it over, there's 2 little tabs on it. You should be able to just wiggle it and pull to the left and get them to pop off. You may have to manually go in and release those tabs. You may also be able to leave those on there. You're just going to have to work around them as you pull the fan out. With those out of the way, you then want to reach down and unplug that large plug that goes to the electric fan. After you do that, if you look down on the right side of the engine bay, there is a piece of the charge piping that attaches to the fan. If you get a pry bar and pull and push against the charge pipe, it'll separate from the fan, and that's all that we need to do there. That there should be about all the separation we need. As we get the fan started pulling up, that's going to come out the rest of the way. And then over here, once we have the fan unplugged, we're just going to try to pull everything towards the engine as much as possible. And then if you look down the side of the fan here, those are clips that hold the fan in place. So if you push on the tab on the very top side of that clip, it'll release it. And there's one on either side. Once you have those released, that'll allow you to grab the fan and pull straight up with it. And then it's just a matter of wiggling it around the AC lines and the plugs to get the fan out of the vehicle. Once you get both of those released, you'll see I'm already separating here. This side is rigid, whereas this one you can see is on like a swivel, like a door. So we're going to get the pry bar in there. We're going to rotate that arm forward, and that's going to allow us to slip by that upper radiator hose. So here you can see that now folded up, and we should be able to pull this whole fan assembly straight up and out. All right, you will need to be patient as you work this out, but you will eventually be able to get the fan out of there. This tab here tends to hang up on these AC lines, so you're going to have to pull them over just a little bit. But here you can see this arm is rotating and this one is fixed. And if I move this out of the way, you can see where they slide into place on either side. And how we have to release that locking tab. So now that that's out of the way, we have enough room to work with to be able to get the belt out of the vehicle. So I've gone ahead and used a bungee cord to fasten those out of the way. It's a good time now. You can see the front of the engine well, inspect for any leaks. Oil filter housing here is a very common leak, which will leak onto the belt. And these are known for the belt eventually getting sucked into the motor and causing all sorts of problems. In this case, pretty well bone dry on this vehicle. We're just going to replace the belt, and we're doing it preventatively. This one's not too bad yet, but just getting ahead on maintenance here. So we're going to take note of how that belt is oriented, and then it's as simple as getting a T60 it's going to insert into that hole there. We're going to rotate that clockwise, and that will relieve tension from the belt, and we can pull the old belt off of the vehicle. So there's the T60 that I use, relieve tension, and now I'm able to fish the belt off from around all the pulleys and get it out of the car. So the new belt that I have here is a Continental. It's an 8PK 1390. Maybe different depending on the options that you have on the car. I got this one from FCP Euro. They offer a lifetime warranty on everything, so in 40,000 miles when I want to do this again, I send it back, get a refund, and get a new belt for free. So I'm going to go ahead and get my T60 back on here and relieve the tension while I feed the new belt into place. Once we have the new belt fitted, I'm always going to go around with my hand and just make sure that all the ribs are seated on all the pulleys properly. Down under where we can't see, up on top, because if it's off by one rib, it's going to throw the belt, it's going to shred the belt, and you're going to be doing this all over again. So now that we have that on there, it's as simple as getting everything back out of the way, and we're going to slide that fan right back in through the top, and we're going to make sure that it gets seated on that clip. Once we get this far, we're going to reopen that side clip as well and get it all put into place. Okay, once we get that dropped in, we're going to fold out that arm, make sure that both sides are fully seated. We're then going to go ahead and plug that power back into the fan. We're going to verify that on that charge pipe, that rubber bushing is fully seated as well. If you put the bungee cord on these, go ahead and release that now, and then we're going to take our two clips there, slide those back into place, get the AC lines refastened to those as well. With those back in place, we can now reinstall our aluminum crossbar here, same way that we brought it out. So we're going to bring the left side in first, get it up on top of the frame rail there, and then we can fish it under the coolant hose there. Both of these wires should be around the front because we're going to have to put those back on the clips after. For now, let's go ahead and get our 4 13mm back in there. Now, all that's left to do is go ahead and put our two cables back in their places on the back of the pipe here, or back of the aluminum bar. With that done, we'll go ahead and put our fresh air pipe back in place as well. So we'll go ahead and... Last thing to do is get this fresh air pipe fitted back in. In some cases, they'll slide right over. Other cases, this lock ring will come apart. So with it separated, just push it on and then snap this together to lock it in place and push this side into the hole there. With that done, go ahead and clean up your mess and you are all set. Hopefully that was an easy video to follow along with, and good luck with your next project.